Hello. Sometimes a person accepts upon himself to say Tehilim for somebody who's sick, for example, for 40 days, or somebody who passed away, niftar, and he accepts to say Tehilim for him for a certain time, and then he hears of somebody else that has a need also for the Tehilim zechut, whether he was niftar again, or whether he is sick, and now the question comes, does the person reciting Tehilim is required to say Tehilim a second time, or maybe the first time that he says for the first sick person, now that he has an intention to say also for the second one, that's good enough, and each one would get exactly the entire merit of his Tehilim. Well, that question we found in the earlier poskim in the Magen Avraham, Siman Kuf Lamed Bet, Sif Bet already brings the Maran that says that one who says Kaddish for one niftar is not allowed with that Kaddish to be Yotzeh for another niftar. Rather, each one should have his own Kaddish. The zechut has to be entirely for each one by himself independently. But many argued on that Magen Avraham, as the Beis brings from the Knesset Israel, and also the Beis, and also the Machatzit, HaShekel and Eliyahu Rabbah bring that as well. The Be'er Moshe in Chelek Daled brings that this way as well, and the Dovev Mesharim in Chelek Bet. So therefore many poskim say that no, you're allowed to say Tehilim or Kaddish for one person, and with that, when you have in mind for the second one, that is fine, and the other one receives the entire merit as well. So each one gets 100% of the zechut of saying Kaddish or Tehilim, as we are right now in that topic. And therefore, we found this to be a machloket. Those that side with the strict approach was Moshe as well, in the Hilchot Moshe, that says that once you do something, it needs to be independently for each person by itself. Since we have a machloket in that matter, therefore the halacha should be that one should try to say Tehilim for each person independently, to be yotzeh for sure, and therefore for sure each one gets the merit needed. There are gemarot that indicate that indeed when you do one thing, it goes as well for the other as well. For instance, the Gemara says, "Zikaron echad ole lekan velekan." It's Gemara in Eruvin, Daf Mem Amud Aleph. Also, the Gemara in Sukkah brings down that when one shakes the lulav, and the lulav has the arava, and with that he's yotzeh yedei mitzvat daled minim, he also could intend his heart to be yotzeh the shaking of the arava. There's a mitzvah to shake the arava as well. He said the shaking the arava. See, we see the concept that you can make one act, and two things would be resulted because of that. But, as I explained, since it is a machloket between so many poskim, one should try to say Tehilim independently for each person, and unless he finds it hard, and it's not possible for him to say Tehilim again for the second person, so then he could be mechaven in his heart, he could intend his heart that his Tehilim would be good for the first one and the second one.